7 Deadly Sins. The concept, also known as the 7 Deadly Sins in the Christian religion, has deep roots in Christian history and has had a significant impact on Western culture and moral philosophy. This list is not included in the Bible. The sins and temptations contained in the list can be seen in the Old and New Testaments, but this list is not included in the Bible as it is. This list was later created by the Church Fathers as a guide to living God-honoring lives and healthy spirituality. This can not only guide the relationship between man and God, but also peace in life and relationships with other people. The 7 cardinal sins can be traced back to the early Christian Church, particularly the writings of theologians such as Evagrius Ponticus and John Cassian in the 4th and 5th centuries. These early theologians identified 8 evil thoughts or temptations that could lead individuals away from God. These 8 thoughts were gluttony, lust, ambition, greed, sadness, despair, anger, laziness, smugness, pride. Over time, these 8 temptations were refined and reconstructed by various theologians and scholars, eventually resulting in the list we know of as the 7 cardinal sins. The origins of the 7 deadly sins can be traced back to early Christian monastic traditions. In the 4th and 5th centuries, theologians and monastic leaders such as Evagrius Ponticus and John Cassian were instrumental in identifying and cataloging a variety of evils that threatened spiritual health. One of the most influential figures in the creation of the 7 sins was Pope Gregory I, commonly known as Saint Gregory. In the late 6th century, he wrote a treatise titled Morality in Job, in which he expounded the moral teachings of the biblical book of Job. In this work, Saint Gregory played a very important role in consolidating the concept of the 7 cardinal sins. Saint Gregory reduced this list of sins to 7. This number had special significance in Christian theology for its connection with divine creation and rest on the 7th day. He classified them as follows: pride, envy, wrath, laziness, greed, lust, gluttony. These 7 cardinal sins are depicted as obstacles on the path to moral and spiritual perfection. Gregory's influence as both a theologian and pope led to the widespread adoption of this classification. The Protestant Reformation in the 16th century, led by figures such as Martin Luther and John Calvin, had a significant impact on Christian theology. While the Reformers did not ignore the concept of the 7 cardinal sins, they placed greater emphasis on the primacy of faith and salvation by grace alone. In the post-Reformation period, emphasis on the 7 cardinal sins continued in the Catholic tradition, and the Council of Trent, 1545–1563, reinforced the importance of these sins in moral theology and confessional practice. The Catholic Church continued to teach about these sins and remind believers of the necessity of confession, repentance, and forgiveness. Here are the 7 deadly sins. 1. Pride. Pride is often considered the root of all other sins. Excessive belief in one's abilities and the desire to be more important or attractive than others ultimately alienate a person from God. Pride leads to arrogance, and disregard for the feelings of others. It prevents individuals from seeking redemption and forgiveness. 2. Envy. Envy or jealousy is resentment at the good fortune or success of others. It is a corrosive emotion that breeds discontent and lack of gratitude. Jealousy breeds anger and can lead to actions that harm others. This is an obstacle to a real relationship and fulfillment. 3. Wrath. Wrath is intense and violent anger that causes harm or destruction. This is a sinful response to perceived injustices. Anger harms both self and others. It is a destructive force that disrupts personal and social harmony. 4. Laziness. Laziness is often misunderstood as physical laziness, but it is actually a profound indifference to spiritual and moral matters. Laziness inhibits growth and prevents individuals from realizing their spiritual potential. It is an obstacle to self-improvement. 5. Greed. Greed is the excessive desire for material wealth and possessions, often at the expense of the welfare and moral principles of others. Greed leads to exploitation, inequality, and moral compromise. It can corrupt individuals and entire societies. 6. Lust. Lust refers to excessive, irregular sexual desires or thoughts. It separates individuals from their spiritual selves. Lust can lead to the objectification and degradation of others. It inhibits the development of healthy, loving relationships. 7. Gluttony. Gluttony is overindulgence in food and drink, often resulting in a lack of self-control and focus on physical pleasures. Gluttony leads to physical and spiritual excess, making it difficult for individuals to focus on their higher purpose and their relationship with God. For more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, like the video and recommend it to your friends, and share your ideas and suggestions in the comments. Hoping for a more just world. Goodbye.